What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? Hi, it's Anna Ladipo of annaladipo.com, your multi-hyphenate personality. I am the owner of an online marketplace called Luckstop. I am a college professor, author of Strategies for Effective Communication for Professionals, and I also own a coaching, mentoring, and teaching company service called Learn with Anna. Okay, let's go into it. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? I just enumerated all the things I do, and I guess that's an indication of entrepreneurship, I hope. So really, what does it mean? What does it mean when we say entrepreneur, and how do you kind of get into that mindset and understand what that journey is like? Anyone who's ever attempted entrepreneurship will tell you it's a mental shift. It's more about the things you do, and well, let me rephrase that. It's less about the things you do and more about a mental shift and a mindset. In a world that's designed primarily for predictable income, it's easier to get a paycheck. I worked 9 to 5 for the longest time, and the only way I'll say I was content or satisfied was because I was working as a management consultant, aka an independent consultant, which means I was paid hourly, and that for me was what was satisfactory and why I stayed in 9 to 5. However, it's still, I won't say restrictive, right? Like you eat what you kill, which is awesome, but it still kind of puts you in that 9 to 5 mindset. And at times when you are someone who is entrepreneurial in nature or creative, at some point it becomes comfortable earning good money as a consultant, and it could stifle your creativity or entrepreneurship. So the question is really, how do I maintain that mindset? How do I overcome my fears and just keep going? First thing I'll say is there is no substitute for hard work. So entrepreneurship or deciding to become an entrepreneur does not mean you are going to be sitting back and just bawling. If not, it means that you might have to work harder than you do on your 9 to 5, and I think that's where the mindset comes in. The starting point is having the mindset of an entrepreneur. There's no substitute for hard work. You got to do what you got to do. You got to be motivated. You got to be organized. And you have to keep moving even when you don't feel like it. And that luxury you might not, well, it's not a luxury. It's not the same as the luxury you have when you work 9 to 5, because irrespective, you're going to get your paycheck. If you're sick, you do have your sick days, but as an entrepreneur, there's a lot that really lies within what you have to do. So I guess that for me is the motivation to work hard and get to the point where you can manage your time more. Because I know a lot of people, that's really kind of where it starts to make sense when you're an entrepreneur, is when you have more time to do the things you're passionate about, and you have more flexibility with your time as opposed to being restricted doing one thing more. Like I said, there's no substitute for hard work. You gotta work hard to reap the benefits that you're hoping for. But don't get me wrong. Um, Many of the rewards, great rewards of entrepreneurship, which I'll say most of them are intangible. There's no substitute for the confidence you have when you are able to conceptualize an idea and then bring it to life. It's amazing, and it's definitely a journey of growth. And even better is when you start to reap the financial rewards, right? That's why we're kind of doing this. You want to secure the bag. Okay, so for anyone that's looking to go into entrepreneurship, I have these assurances for you. One, it is not easy. We've talked about that. It's not easy, but it is achievable. You can always reach out for guidance and support. I think that's where a number of us do get stuck, and more so minority, people of color at times. The support system might not necessarily be there, and it's very crucial to have that support system, to know how to open a business, to know where you can get grants, to know where you can get, small business support. Some of those things are missing, and those are very, very, those are important aspects of trying to get a business from inception to running successfully. Secondly, it could be lonely, but it doesn't have to be. And I say we, I mean entrepreneurs. It's important to find a good support system. I think I enumerated that in the previous point. Because it could get lonely. It could almost feel like you're the only one going through whatever you're going through, and at times being stuck or captive with your own thoughts could be debilitating. So I would say whenever I talk to friends or fellow entrepreneurs, it's quite comforting to know that I'm not the only one in that position, and also especially listening to stories of people who have grown a successful business, and knowing that we all face the same issues when we start out. And even while it's successful, like there's always something that you have to overcome. So it's good to talk to fellow entrepreneurs, ensure that you're keeping yourself up to speed with what's happening in the industry. Finding a mentor. It could be someone who or someone you aspire to be like, and it doesn't have to be someone you have physical contact with. It could be someone that you do admire their business model and you want to be like them. So just following them, keeping up to speed with their progress, listening to podcasts, reading is very helpful, and it provides the support that you need so that you're not feeling like you're on some pointless, lonely journey. Another thing is that it is transformational in ways that you might not realize when you're going through, the different processes you have to go for to start a business. I mean, if you're thinking big and looking to do it big and going through the right steps like incorporation, understanding like different sales funnels, understanding things like digital marketing. Like most of us started this thing with zero knowledge, and just looking back at the last couple of years, I can definitely tell you that I'm not where I used to be. There's been lessons learned, there's been mistakes that thankfully I've recovered from, and there's been great teams I've worked with along the way, that even if I don't have the knowledge, I know better to hire the right people to help me out. So that is another key benefit I've personally have experienced is the transformation and the growth that comes with just staying with it, trying to be consistent. It's not always easy, but opening yourself to learning new things and not being scared to almost start from ground zero. I left recently, left my 9 to 5 just to focus primarily on being an entrepreneur, and it almost seems at times like you're taking a step back, but seemingly that's not the reality. Every day you are learning something, you are growing. As long as you're waking up every day, showing up, applying yourself, putting in the necessary work, you will be transformed. So here's wishing you a courageous and intentional journey. Till next time, it's Anna Ladipo. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I will be sharing more interesting stuff as the channel grows, and do follow me on Instagram. My handle is @theAnaladipo. My website is analadipo.com, and all that information